So far, the numbers don't look good. Across Bay County, more than 2,500 structures are damaged, and at least 162 have been destroyed. That was Bay County Emergency Services describing Hurricane Michael. For me, and this is Era Roberts, one of your assistant principals, Hurricane Michael hit a lot closer to home. You might have seen Hurricane Michael on the news as it came in over Northwest Florida and seen images like the one here. If you look at the track that Hurricane Michael took, that red dot right where it makes landfall is part of the area that I've zoomed in on over here. My grandparents, Frank and Lorraine Worley, live in a town called Southport that is just north of Panama City Beach. These are my grandparents. They're 87 and 88-year-old, and my grandfather is a World War II veteran who happily displayed his American flag on his front porch, even though his screens were torn out and his front door gone. We went to Southport on Saturday morning to be able to help. Here are some images as I pulled into the town of the elementary school sign tilted over, the trees all over the playground, and the stop sign at his road tipped over while you see power cords laying on the ground and other debris. This was the scene all throughout Southport, Lynn Haven, and Panama City Beach. When we arrived in their neighborhood, we were able to bring 50 cases of water from the Batesburg-Leesville High School JROTC. His neighbors were so grateful to be able to have this water. Initially, I thought that we would be taking the water to a shelter or a distribution point. But so many people around, even when we stopped at a gas station or were held in traffic, were just thankful to have a bottle and even more grateful to have a case of water in this time of need. As we came down his road, one of our first priorities was to open up the driveway. We were able to cut through the pine trees that had fallen everywhere and get into the house to be able to help them. Here are some pictures of the debris fallen on the garage, the roofing pulled away with power lines across it, the storage area that was above the garage where the plywood had just come through and other property fallen through, and the barn where my grandfather has his supplies to help be able to have a small farm and on his property fallen in with a tree on top. One of the big things that we had to do was clean up all the soiled food that was in the freezers, refrigerators, and take care of a lot of the materials that had just been completely soaked or damaged, collecting roof tiles. And one of the windows in one of the bathrooms had blown in, so cleaning up the roofing tiles, the glass, the yard debris, and just trying to get that back into a place that it was usable. You can even see here where a power pole had fallen onto his garage, and there were electrical lines down all over everywhere that we went. Another priority was, of course, tarping the roof where extensive amounts of the shingles or tree limbs had fallen, cleaning the tree off of the home, and removing as much debris from the property as we were able to do in the weekend that we were there. You can also see that he had pulled the car into the barn thinking that he was going to be able to help save the car, and when the barn fell in, it also fell on and extensively damaged their car. Trees are down all over Bay County. One of the most interesting things to see was these trees snap, pine trees just in half. All of this tall oak trees fallen over, and here are also some limbs that had come off of a cedar tree as well. I wanted to get down to that big oak tree and stand underneath it so you could just see how massive it was. If I had stood down at the location of the roots, it would have been just as tall as I was, if not taller. So it's a big project for cleaning up, and I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you all. We are so thankful, of course, that they are alive and well. but the water coming in through their home and the loss of property is going to be an extensive amount of cleanup. Something that is a challenge whenever you get older is living off of Social Security and the high cost of medical care and insurance. And my grandparents were unable to afford homeowners insurance or full coverage on their vehicles. So we know that there will be some aid coming, but we are so thankful for the aid, particularly that is coming here from our friends and family and from our Panther family. I also wanted to say thank you to the linemen. Before, I had never really thought about the value and all of the hard work that our linemen put in, the same as any first responder. They are working tirelessly to get power back on there, and given the power grid that my grandparents are on, it's estimated that it'll be about a month before they have power back. But it was so heartwarming to see, as we were leaving, the American Red Cross show up for the first time and know that somebody has committed to checking on them every day until we're able to get back. So as I come back and share this story, Miss Bryant and our student council had a fundraiser idea that they wanted to share to just try to be able to provide as much support to this area and particularly to my grandparents as we can. So here's Miss Bryant.
Adams, have you heard about what's going on with Miss Roberts' family down in Florida?
A little bit. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, you know, her grandparents live just outside of Panama City, and that's where the hurricane hit. And they have had extreme damage to their property, and they just really need our help. And I was thinking, since Miss Roberts is a part of our Panther families, and Panther family always sticks together, that maybe we could do something to help her out. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Well, I was thinking that since you and I, we love our Panthers, right? Mm-hmm. Panthers first, always. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when other sports are involved, we kind of differ. Have you ever thought about that?
Mm-hmm.
You got that for your desk?
Yeah.
It's ugly. All right, anyway.
Common sense is.
I was thinking that what if we as a school all gave donations in the name of either Clemson or that other school in Columbia?
That great school in Columbia.
Other school in Columbia.
In Carolina.
And, you know, I love competition and I love a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So what if, when Clemson wins the challenge, because I know my Tigers are going to support Miss Roberts. I said I know my Tigers are going to support Miss Roberts' family. When the Clemson wins, you have to wear a beautiful orange Clemson jersey and go over the intercom playing our wonderful fight song, Tiger Rag, and say, "Go Tigers."
That looks good on you.
Are you in, Coach?
I am definitely in.
Or are you scared? Because if you're scared, say you're scared.
I am in because I'm looking at this bird garnet and black, and it was perfect.
Put that mess on me. So it's a deal?
It's a deal.
All right.
Go Gamecocks.
Go Tigers. Come on, Panthers. Come out and support Miss Roberts and her family. And always go Panthers.
Well, y'all, I am just so excited to see this competition come together. I know that we have so many Tiger fans and we have so many Gamecock fans, and I am just interested to see who is going to pull it out. Is Miss Bryant going to have to wear that garnet? Is Coach Adams going to have to wear that orange? We will see. And I just want you all to know that it is going to a great cause, and that the Panther family is as close to my heart as my family. And I just thank you all for being willing to help them. So here's how it's going to work. Coins are going to count towards your favorite team's total. If you want to take away points from the other team, you need to donate bills. So if you want to add points, put the coins in. If you want to take away points, put the bills in. If Clemson wins, Coach Adams will have to wear a Clemson shirt. And if Carolina wins, Miss Bryant will be wearing a Clemson shirt. And it'll come down to, what are we going to hear over the announcements? Is it going to be Go Tigers? Or is it going to be Go Gamecocks? You can choose and support your team through donations in the jars in the front office. And those jars will also be in the lunchroom during lunch. So let's see this rivalry. This is a great fundraiser. And once again, Panthers, thank you so much for your support.